Weird.
We're seeing Deadpool. Oh my gosh.
Think about what you get. My sister has it. Yes. It's you.
I know.
Winter time here at Hogsmeade Village.
Lieutenant Dane,
Hello, Forrest.
you got new legs.
Titanium alloy.
Time for my summer sizzle. Cool as a cherry popsicle.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
It's happening. It's dish time.
I've always wanted to do this in front of you.
Creating content that enlightens and lifts you up.
Dish, sir, dish.
Me at Splash Mountain, just pepper these in here.
Hello, everyone. This is Kermit the Frog reporting live from the final showing of Muppet Vision 3D.
Right? God, I missed our daily dishes.
Yes, indeed.
You know, I really don't remember you being this opinionated.
Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the dish.
Hey. So, let's dish.
What do you want to dish about?
Anything you guys want. This is your time.
Welcome back, fun fam. And if you're brand new to the channel, welcome in to Follow the Bradleys Fun. This is The Dish. And it is the Dish Monday night edition. Hope everybody out there is having a phenomenal, well, depending on where you are, phenomenal day, phenomenal night. It's very much night here because, of course, we had the time change. And I don't know if everybody watching went through the time change, but we time traveled on Sunday night. At 3 a.m., I was able to go back in time 1 hour. It was crazy. All I had to do was move the clock. And I gained an extra hour of time. Oh my goodness. How is everybody out there tonight? I hope everybody's having a great time. Hit that like button on your way in. If you're watching this on the replay, make sure you're commenting below. Replay gang. And hopefully everybody can hear me okay. Let me do the sound check on my end. Hello, check, 1, 2, yes. It sounds as if I can be heard. So I want to say hi to everybody that is popping in here tonight. I don't think we did the show last week. I was having some issues, but we're good. We're back, and I'm pretty happy. It's been a long day for me today, so I'm very, very excited that you all are joining me because you are my motivation to be here. the apple in my eye, if you will, the cream in my coffee, the 1.21 gigawatts, of course, and all of that, and of course the energon that makes this guy transform and roll out of bed in the afternoon from my nap to be here with you when it's extremely dark already at 8 p.m. at night.
Toast Autobots. Boy, these are good. I needed to refuel. Energy. This stuff's the greatest.
This stuff is the greatest. This stuff is my greatest, and it's just water. It's wonderful. It works really well, that hydrogen oxygen combo. MJ is here tonight. Let's say hi to MJ. MJ says, Hola, Ron. Hola, MJ. How are you? I hope everything is well in your world. My mom is here. Kathleen Fantasy says, good evening, everyone. Had a good birthday on Saturday night. My mom hosted. We went to a restaurant called Krabby's, fish place, seafood place on the lake in St. Cloud, Florida. A big lake, East Lake Tohopekaliga, which is, the lake names have all like ancient Native American names. So we just call it East Lake Toho, but Tohopekaliga, very, very long name. So thank you for that, Mom. Appreciate the dinner. It was good. There were some disappointing things about it, but generally speaking, like I had coconut shrimp. I love coconut shrimp. It was really, really good. And ribs, actually, shrimp and ribs dinner. So Strings and Pucks is here and in the background. Says, good evening. Hey, MJ and Ron's mom, William Schweigert. Good to see you out there in the audience. Says, hello, everyone. Hope everyone had a great weekend, and I hope everyone had a great weekend as well. And Jeremiah Hembry, good to see you in the audience, brother. I know I always see you on the pro show, and it's always been fun when we have those special pro after parties where we have you on. Those are good times as well. Those are like a members only thing. So good times there. We appreciate that. And MJ says hi to Strings and Bucks. Dan's Life at the Kingdom was hanging out at him earlier. We both saw Zootopia, Better Zoogether. So hopefully he'll be sharing his thoughts in the chat when we get to that part of the video. It was a show, Bug's Life that was there had some issues, but it was thematically correct. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. And Jeremiah Hembry reminds us it is Godzilla Day, 70 years of Godzilla. Godzilla. Let's get together, Dan says. Don't forget to hit that like button, everyone. Yes, indeed. MJ says, hope you had a great birthday. And hi, William. Yum. Yes, indeed. I would have, I bet the flame, here's a funny thing, Dan. I don't know that I've ever even had the Flame Tree ribs. Our ribs at Cheddar's were always really, really good. And when I worked at Cheddar's, I ate a ton of ribs because I could get them for free. I got a lot of ribs for free often when at the end of the day, if there were some left over, I would take them home. And I would take them home unsauced, which was really good. Just the dry rub, really, really delicious. But my favorite ribs at Disney are the kaiju ribs at Galaxy's Edge. I know it sounds weird, but they're so different. And they're usually pretty meaty. So very, very good stuff. Let's see. And yes, Gojira. And speaking of Gojira and Godzilla, and this is a really bad segue, we have a guest panelist on with us tonight. Let's bring on our guest panelist from somewhere back in time.
Doc, calm down, okay? Just calm down. It's me. It's Marty.
No, it can't be you! I sent you back to the future!
Hey, Doc, that's right, but I came back again. I came back from the future. Don't you remember last night? You fainted. I brought you home.
This can't be happening! You can't be here! It doesn't make sense for you to be here! I refuse to even believe that you are here!
Oh, but you are here somehow.
I are.
But I thought I sent you back to the dentist.
Man, yeah, that's where sadists go to work.
Yeah.
Den of
Have you seen Little Shop of Horrors?
I have, and it's very accurate. In fact, you mention it. My favorite version of Little Shop of Horrors is not the Steve Martin, Rick Moranis. It was the TV show Head of the Class. They did it within one of the shows, and the biker guy Eric was the dentist. It was actually really well done for a
head of the class.
Do you remember? So that sitcom, Billy Connolly was in starting, I think, season 3. He was the teacher of this class of geniuses, and one of them turned out to be the guy at Nickelodeon that a certain documentary was written about called Quiet on Set.
Oh boy.
Dan Schneider. He was in it. That's where he got his start. There was star power there. Billy Connolly was the king of it. But it was a weird, one of those weird shows about, geniuses, and in one episode they did Little Shop of Horrors the musical. It was really good.
I thought you were going to say the Jack Nicholson version.
I have not seen that. It sounds terrifying.
So the Jack Nicholson version is the original movie of Little Shop of Horrors, not a musical. I think maybe it was originally written as a book, and then that was changed to a screenplay, and I think it's black and white. It's really old.
It was on TCM, I think, or TMC, or Turner Classic Movies, whatever.
Yeah.
The original is on the app, right?
Yeah. But the dentist was a role that I wanted to play when I was doing musicals, and I never got a chance to. But I would have loved to. I would love to play Seymour, but I'm wrong for Seymour. First of all, I'm 6'3" tall.
You're not the right height.
But I'm perfect for the dentist, and that would have been. It would just be such a fun role to cheese up and stuff,
Steve Martin was so good. He should not have worked in that role, but he was so good.
I was younger, just a bad little kid.
He was like Meatloaf in Rocky Horror.
Things he did. Like, I don't even think I can say the words on YouTube without getting in trouble. They're not even like that bad, but it's like it just it
was a quirk. I don't know if you know this. They had to change the end for the musical.
Yeah. So they originally filmed. Okay, so the musical does end with everybody dying, right? The film ended that way. That's how they shot it. And then they put it in front of test audiences, and audiences hated it, and they had to change the ending to a happy ending. But the original movie does in fact end with everybody, Audrey and Seymour and everybody just dying. So,
and it's an anti-capitalism story.
The whole point was
Feed the green.
Yeah.
It's really quirky, but the musical worked for some reason.
Yeah. Well, it was unusual as far as a movie was concerned because they cast the Broadway actress who was playing Audrey on Broadway, Ellen, I can't remember her last name, Ellen something or other. And they couldn't. They tried to cast a Hollywood actress, and none of them worked. And then they finally went back to the Broadway actress to test her on screen, and she was brilliant. And as far as I know, I don't even think she's ever done any other movies, but she's worked that role and it made it her own. And I'm sure that one particular role has made her millions of dollars. Ellen, was it Ellen Green? She has a really simple name, but yeah. And she's sang she sang Suddenly Seymour with a number of different participants in different concerts, like famous people over the years. So
Oh, really?
I think I've seen a version where, oh gosh, who was the guy that played Mysterio in the Spider-Man movie?
Oh, there's a
So
Mysterio in Little Shop
in the
of
chat, somebody
Chat,
tell me in the
please.
chat who what's the name of the oh God, what is his name? Why can't I think of his name? He was actually slated to replace Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man when Tobey Maguire injured himself. But through therapy, Tobey Maguire made it back to the role for Spider-Man 2. What is his name? Somebody tell me in the chat. Somebody, Dan, you got to know. Dan's Life of the Kingdom. Who played Mysterio? Why can't I think of his? I want to say it's a Jeremy. They're not Renner, obviously. With the nobody in the chat knows. Come on now.
Mysterio. Oh, it pops right up. I guess this gets asked a lot. Who played Mysterio? Jake Gyllenhaal.
I told you it was a J. Jake Gyllenhaal.
You do?
Jake Gyllenhaal. So Jake Gyllenhaal, if you can actually look it up on YouTube, but there is a version where Jake Gyllenhaal is playing Seymour. And
Moranis nailed that. I don't know if I could see Jake Gyllenhaal doing that.
No, that's what's so funny is like trying to like when you see another actor portray a role that you're like, but this actor's iconic in that role. Yeah, Rick Moranis absolutely knocked it out of the park. I'm glad he's
trying to
coming
watch
back.
Arsenic and Old Lace without. Are you kidding me?
Without arsenic? Oh no, wait. You should probably watch it without arsenic.
I don't recommend it. Who's the heartthrob main character? Oh my gosh, this is not my night. It's Cary Grant. Cary Grant did so good in that movie that I have trouble with other versions of Arsenic and Old Lace because he was that good.
Well, it is Monday, and we are going to start off the show with with the numbers as we do when we are here on Mondays. So let me put this on the screen. This is the weekend box office. Now, there's a part of the weekend box office that I am a little bit surprised about because I don't see it listed at all, and that is K-pop Demon Hunters. K-pop Demon Hunters was back at the box office this last weekend. It says October 31st. It should be the correct chart. And the reason I know that is because we went to see it on Sunday. And I had seen bits and pieces of it at home because it's on Netflix, but I had not seen it all the way through. And I was really surprised by how emotionally moved I was at the movie. I knew the songs were great. I've enjoyed the song. My son loves the movie, so I thought it would be a special treat to take him in and see it at a theater because it wasn't a theatrical release initially. And this was like the sing-along version was released theatrically this weekend for a limited run just over the weekend, along with Back to the Future 2. Or not Back to the Future 2, sorry, the original Back to the Future for its 40-year anniversary was released. And that actually took number 5 amongst all movies.
I got the numbers for K-pop. I was able to get AI to pull it up for last weekend. So I do have those numbers.
So what?
It earned 5.6 million from the first to the third, and it was in 2,890 theaters.
So if it earned, that would put it at number 4. That's so weird that it's not here.
That's pretty manipulative, to be honest. That's a high. I could see if it were like number 12. But
it's that. I mean, I'm looking at the numbers right now, and whatever Begonia is, which I've never heard of, hit 5 million gross.
So let's beat that.
5.8. That's that. I mean, this was Halloween weekend, so it's not really a surprise that Black Phone 2, which is a horror movie, hit number 1. I don't know. It's in its third weekend of release, and it only dropped by 35%, which is not bad from the second weekend. With the total domestic gross of almost 62 million for a horror movie, pretty darn good. But the reason I'm surprised K-pop isn't on here, it hitting number 4 and it not being produced to be a theatrical release and hitting number 4 at the theater, it's pretty darn amazing. And it's a short movie. It's not even particularly long. I want to say that we went in at 4:30 and got out of the theater at 6:10. So it's a pretty short movie, but it felt complete. So when I go into the theater and I watch a movie that is short but still feels complete, that's a very satisfying feeling. And it's a good story. It's got really good lessons, and great music, and it's beating anything Disney's done all year. So
I can't believe it's not on the list. If those numbers are accurate, if the AI assistant didn't lie to me, 5.6 million in in under
wow.
3,000 theaters.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Now, when we went to see it, to be fair, there wasn't very many people in the theater, but we went to see it at 4:30 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon. So, as a matter of fact,
yeah.
I checked the showings, and when I saw that theater was empty beforehand, when I snagged the tickets, so we got like the best seats in the house, center stage. It was funny because it kind of felt like we had rented out the theater. But
I love
I'm like,
those.
hey, I'll take it, but it was a blast, and my family, we were all singing the songs to the best that we could. It's funny, it was a sing along, so it had the lyrics on the screen, but half the lyrics are in Korean, and so but it's funny because the songs are in English and then they have like a couple lines of dialogue in Korean and then they go back to English. And
to phoneticize it, or is it just straight Korean on the screen?
No, they phoneticize it.
Oh, thank goodness.
So it's spelled out in English, but yeah, we had a really good time, had a blast, helping out. And it's the theater that we go to is our local theater. It's not part of a big chain. It's part of Touch Star Cinemas, which only has 3 theaters in this kind of region of the country.
Never heard of it. That's incredible.
Yeah, no, it's great. They literally have day beds. All the chairs, all the seats in the theater are lounging recliners, leather lounging recliners. Great sound, digital picture. And I think it was like, even buying the tickets online ahead of time, it was only $9. I actually think that I have 2 or 3 free tickets available from their rewards program. I haven't used yet. So
that's great.
Yeah. The one I'm hoping comes to the theater that may not is the new Sydney Sweeney movie called Christie. Because it just looks like it's a biopic of a real fighter, and Sydney Sweeney looks like she's going to knock it out of the park. I want to see her act, and it looks like she's actually acting in the film.
Fighting movies have picked up. They just did another one with The Rock, where he was a famous boxer, MMA fighter.
Yeah, but I don't think that did well.
It did not. Dan Severn, I think, was the guy he covered, and it should have popped, but I guess it was really not good.
Let's take a look real quick at Tron Ares. Let me bring up the box office for this because I was looking at it just now. Hopefully people are still in the chat. If you're in the chat, say hi in the chat. Tron Ares, worldwide theatrical gross so far for Tron Ares is $134 million
worldwide.
That is lower than the production cost.
Oh my gosh! Don't they have to hit 300% of production on average?
Yeah, it's like production times at least 2.5 to even come close to I
They're
mean,
gonna have to sell their children. Oh my gosh.
I would be surprised if Bob Iger hasn't already sold his kids.
You know,
Um,
yeah, probably to a deli.
I mean, when the movie only looks like it's there to promote a ride in your theme parks, and even the ride isn't that great. Like the ride is a little over a minute long from the time you get on to. I mean, the actual ride from the time it actually takes off is like 60 seconds. But if you're supposed to be on a light cycle, so you ride it like you ride a motorcycle. And for a guy, it's a little uncomfortable.
I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not something that after riding a few times, I was like, you know what? I don't really need to go back on that one. Of course, maybe if I were younger, but it's just,
But they turn the lights red sometimes, so it's a new ride.
oh, yeah. I mean, they could
Just
turn the
like the
lights
new
red
Zootopia.
anytime they want to. They could turn those lights red. It's such it's a gimmicky thing. I'll watch the movie. I haven't watched the movie yet. I'll watch the movie when it comes on Disney Plus. But other than that, there's just no point to seeing it. It didn't hit me as something I really needed to go see in the theater. And even I'll be honest with you, even the new Avatar, I was a fan of the Avatar franchise, and the last Avatar film I went to see in the theater, and I was not disappointed. I went to IMAX, saw it in IMAX, and I could not tell you what the story was. That
Is that? Oh, Ron, I think you froze up, brother.
I think I'm back now.
You went max headroom. Yep, you're back. You're back.
I am back. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened with that. Anyhow, yeah. So the new one, Fire and Ash. I'm like, I don't know that I necessarily feel like I need to go see that in IMAX because it's one of those things where having experienced it, okay, it's great. I don't care about the story anymore. So, yes, I frozen. Oh, frozen.
Let it go. Let it go.
Sorry, I froze. My internet decided to take a pause.
You almost got him. Dan.
There, yeah. I don't know about down in where you are, Dan, but yeah, the Spectrum is have been having major outages here, like fiber optics cables cut and stuff. And what's really weird, and I don't know if it has anything to do with it, but I suspect it does. There's been a tremendous police presence around this area, and the reason I suspect it having to do with the Spectrum outage is because they're not police cars. They are it says state police patrol on the vehicle, and they're all silver pickup trucks with flashing blue lights, and they're all stationed around certain areas. And then I think there's work going on in those areas, and they don't want anybody to come in and interrupt work. Kit Kat popped in the chat. Hello, Kit Kat. We have been discussing Little Shop of Horrors, and haven't even discussed the time change yet. How's the time change for you guys up there?
It's so dark, so fast.
Right.
I was actually shocked because it's stormy, so it's already overcast.
Yeah.
But it's like right at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, 6 o'clock. It's like lights out, man. It's 5:30. The sun starts to set now, and it's just like it's bizarre. And then I watched this channel where she broadcasts from Svalbard, which is Longyearbyen, Svalbard, the northernmost town in the world. Maybe a little bit less than 1,000 miles from the very North Pole. And they're going into polar night. So I guess yesterday or 2 days ago was their last sunset. The sun comes up for about 20 minutes, doesn't even get all the way up, and then it goes back under the horizon, and then they don't see it for 3 months.
My sister was on a base in Alaska above the Arctic Circle, so they had the 6 months of winter, and it messes with you. It is not good for you to be in.
No, I think you have to live in a place like that a while after year. By the fourth, fifth year, maybe you start to kind of get used to, hey, this is the cycle that I have to deal with. I want to visit, but it's really weird because, you know, if you think if I really ever want to see that place completely, at some point in time, I'd have to go during the dead of winter. So I can actually see the spectacular northern lights. And then in another time, I have to go, you know, when it's summer and experience that all day long event where there's no nighttime and see what that's like. But Svalbard looks like where they would have filmed Hoth for The Empire Strikes Back. I mean, it's so cold and wintry, and I mean, it looks like the ice planet. But you know, I always think about the Star Wars movies. I always think about all the different environments, and every single environment that we've ever seen in a Star Wars movie exists here on Earth on this one single planet. And I think we forget about that because you look at Star Wars, and one of the coolest things about it is, oh, this planet is this and this planet is that. But like, think about our own Earth. We have all that right here, and we don't have to venture to any other single planet to find it. Just have to get on an airplane.
Yeah, the famous scene where Luke collapses out in the snow after the one-armed Wampa.
Yeah,
that was rumored anyway to have been shot out the door of the hotel while he's out in the snow. They're inside shooting him walking around because it was just so awful to try to film. So
I can imagine that.
Yeah, no, you're fine, Mark. You're good.
I like the gag reel and the behind the scenes footage where they show Mark Hamill and his spelling hater in his pee.
They were kids. They had a great time.
Dan's Life at the Kingdom says Yoda's Florida swamp planet, and it's funny because every time I look out my window, I think, you know, there could be a Yoda living out there because I live next to a swamp. So it is literally, if I walk, you know, 5 feet from my backyard, I can't really get into it because it's always wet. It is a swamp. So there's dengue fever back there. I got to be careful. So let's see if I can find. Let's start with a funny, fun story. This is an Epic Universe, and it's just we'll call it breaking news just because I, you know, want something. Let me get this up. Get the right story out of here. Epic Universe replaces best dark ride with cornhole boards for one day. This was really funny because I saw a lot of people on X complaining about this. Yeah, I noticed that, William. Stupid Spectrum. I wish I could. I can't really video the police presence that I've seen that I think is in regard to the outage. But I wish I could because it's really interesting to see that many. I have literally seen close to my house maybe 30 different police vehicles over the last couple of days. So it's wild. And they're not doing anything. That's what's so. I mean, not that the police do often, but but Epic Universe plays best cornhole for a day. This is out of thatpart.com by E. Brad on Tuesday. This would be a week ago, October 28th. The brand new Monsters Unchained in the dark universe land of Epic Universe. Universal were quick to provide an impromptu solution during the ride's downtime. game of cornhole along other games that Coaster won. This on X, Monsters Unchained will be closed all day. They're setting up wooden games outside. Okay. So this shouldn't really seem like that big of a deal, but there were outlets that acted furious about this. But then there were comments that pointed out. So I will show you why it's not as big of a deal as you would think. So this is what I wrote. I said, while we weren't able to confirm if many guests were upset, the decision to put up these games to detract from this ride closure drew a fair amount of ire from quote unquote fan critics in the comics on the X post. Okay, so look at this post. That boy Jaden says, "Oh, I would have been livid. I'm going to Universal Orlando tomorrow and this week, flying in from LA. Imagine going to the park, paying all that money for the ticket, and you can't even ride arguably their heaviest hitter." And then he posts, I guess that's a heavy hitter. I don't know. User that boy Jaden said, "Oh, I would have been." Oh wait, that's the same. Let's see. There's somebody named Dan, not Dan's Life at the Kingdom, but a different Dan. Was there today, saw this. Yeah, $167 to play cornhole. Dr. Disney X account, right, says, so I get wanting to give the guests something to do if an attraction is unexpectedly down, but come on. Now, here's the interesting thing. And I wrote this. I said, however, this comment coming from an account with Disney in the name is particularly ironic in light of one interesting fact. Disney does this too. Yeah, that's right. Disney does the exact same thing when their rides are down. So the very same thread of comments, it was pointed out that Disney implements this exact same strategy as a solution to a ride going down. John Dixon said, "Oh, look, Pirates of the Caribbean, hold my beer," with a picture of what it looks like when this happens at Pirates at the Magic Kingdom, the flagship park of all the Disney parks around the world. The Magic Kingdom and Walt Disney World does the exact same thing when a ride goes down. They throw out a cornhole game. And this is a picture that I took myself of this happening. Notice the cast member yawning in the picture. I'm only pointing that out because that's the first time I noticed it, and I took this picture myself. Yeah, so the photo depicts a game of cornhole set up by Disney cast members to appease guests wanting to ride Pirates of the Caribbean, which was apparently down at the time. This photo was taken, and this says game of cornhole outside Pirates in July 2025. Photo credit me. Follow the Bradley's Fun. Yay. Yeah, so that's so I wrote this. Epic Universe criticism. Is it fair or is it fairly one-sided? This 2025 inaugural year of Epic Universe's operation, the park has experienced its fair share of issues. The Harry Potter Ministry of Magic area, technologically forward battle of the ministry, has fought a number of issues, a good degree of downtime. Monsters Unchained showcases some of the most advanced audio animatronics in the industry to bring the experience to life for guests of the park. So it's no surprise, therefore, that these attractions have experienced their share of glitches and downtime in this opening year of Epic Universe. It's not one ride, it's a whole park. The line wait times can exceed hours. All these issues are fair game for appropriate criticism. They should be pointed out and hopefully corrected by the teams at Universal. However, when the park is overly criticized, that also deserves to be called out, especially when it's being criticized for a practice meant to appease guests during attraction downtime. That's the very same strategy put in place across town by Disney.
It's really weird.
So yeah, the biggest take on the story is that why are all these people criticizing Epic when Disney does the same thing?
Oh, you've heard of paid shills. This is like the opposite of that, paid trolls.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're shills on one day, they're trolls on the next day, and it just depends on which park or parks they're talking about at the time. I would suppose. Dan's Life of the Kingdom says, it's funny. This has happened. We actually just got new equipment. That's what's so funny, William. We've been trying to solve these. This is a bigger, like, area-wide issue, but where
That's ironic. Brother, you froze again.
No, but we're like in the neighborhood I live in with Spectrum from the neighborhood, we can't get any other. We're not. So kind of weird. Locked in. Dan's Life Kingdom says Monsters Unchained is still a masterpiece, and it absolutely is. And it hasn't experienced that much downtime overall, considering it has close to 20 of the technologically electronics. Jeremy, have you seen the video from inside Monsters Unchained?
No, I have seen, especially when they were doing the early walkthroughs, kind of the exclusive ones. I sent those pictures to Jen because it looked so amazing. It looked very authentic, like giant actors instead of animatronics. It really, the Frankenstein monster was incredible.
Frankenstein, it's really because you have Dr. Frankenstein, who is a female. She's supposed to be like the niece of the original Dr. Frankenstein, and then you have her new version of Frankenstein's monster, which is there, and like he's looking at you, and it's like scary how real that thing is. And then that's before you get on the ride. Like then you're going through the ride, and you have Igor and Frankenstein and Creature from the Black Lagoon, Dracula, all the monsters, and it's a phenomenal ride experience. I would say yes, it could be scary depending on if you take it that way, but it doesn't feel it's like if Haunted Mansion leveled up in a big way.
Looks very immersive from what I've seen.
Yeah, it's an incredible ride. So I understand why people would be upset that it was down for the day, but being upset by the fact that the team members were playing cornhole in front of it, which is exactly the same strategy that all the parks implement when that happens, that's not something to be upset about. So I think it was kind of ridiculous. It was the big story out of WDW&T, which is Walt Disney World News today, like really overly criticized that move. And I'm like, come on, you guys, of all the people that know that they put cornhole up in front of Pirates of the Caribbean, you guys would know that. So
this is a rare chance for Disney to do a victory lap because Universal started.
Well, it's not even Disney doing the victory lap. It's the Disney shills doing the victory lap.
Exactly, but I honestly feel like the cupcakers get marching orders sometimes.
Definitely feels that way, and I'm sure some absolutely 100% do get marching orders. I want to see if there are any other stories I want to cover before I get into the review. Oh, I got a whole bunch of my stories getting put up right now. There's a new kiosk coming to Disney, and the new popcorn box, but it's not the popcorn box that's available to buy. It's the fact that the kiosk itself is a popcorn box. Want to see it? That's right. New Toy Story snack kiosk is a popcorn box. If you look at the photo, it's hard to tell from this first photo. You see the construction walls there that are in like rainbow construction walls. That's in Toy Story Land, and popping up behind it is like kind of the lid area of the popcorn box. So that's supposed to be popcorn. It doesn't look very realistic, the popcorn part of it. The box looks pretty decent, but the actual popcorn on the top just looks like a flat graphic. Still behind construction walls. I don't. If you guys want to go read the story, it's out of thatparkplace.com by yours truly. And here in this photo, and I kind of want to like focus in on this photo in particular. See the Lasso's cereal box. So the popcorn box is just in front of that, and it looks like it's turned on its side, and a traditional popcorn box, says popcorn on it. It's probably going to be revealed to say popcorn. And then it looks like handwritten by Andy. It says and snacks the same way he, like in his handwriting that he writes Woody on the bottom shoe of Woody, or Buzz on the bottom shoe of Buzz. So the idea behind it is that he's, Andy has taken a popcorn bucket or box and turned it into a pretend snack kiosk in his backyard. The whole area is supposed to be Andy's backyard, but the problem is it doesn't really feel like a backyard in the same sense that the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids playground did. That used to be at Hollywood Studios, and that truly felt like you were in a backyard because they designed it so you were surrounded by giant blades of grass. So there were a couple items in there, like a Play-Doh can, and a couple other small things that, the idea there, not so much that you were a toy, but you were supposed to be the size of an ant. So you shrunk down to the size of an ant, and you got all these giant things around you. It wasn't nearly as big as Toy Story Land, but it definitely gave you the feeling that you had shrunk down to the size of an ant. And in Toy Story Land, there's no grass. Like it's so open. And I wish they would have, I don't know if there's any plants that could mimic grass, but if they could have done something to mimic some patches of grass, and give the area some shade, that would have really, really helped.
They've gotten rid of a lot of shade from what you said, like all over the place.
Oh, well, Toy Story Land's the worst. It's the hottest area of all of Walt Disney World as far as the parks are concerned. It's at least the way I've experienced it. Got some nice things in it. The roller coaster Slinky Dog Dash is pretty cool. Alien Swirling Saucers is fine. The Toy Story Mania was there, like Toy Story Midway Mania, which is the ride / game. It was there before Toy Story Land, so they didn't need to build a land, but they did. And the biggest criticism I have of this is that the popcorn is just a graphic. And you can kind of see that in this picture. There should be, and maybe there are, I haven't seen them yet because it's behind construction walls. There should be some like giant kernels of popcorn that have spilled out. And I'm hoping that they did that, because in other areas of the land, everything else matches. You can see the giant Tinker toy behind there. So I'm hoping that they did that, but I don't know that they did. If they didn't do it, then I would suggest that Disney is getting lazier and lazier when it comes to their.
I think their budget is correct. They keep cheaping out on things.
Yeah, it's not good. But speaking of cheaping out on things, let's get to our main story. Which is, wait, let me get this off the screen. This will be under the guise of breaking news. Let's see if I can find this over here.
Oh, we haven't done a celebration yet either.
We have not done a celebration. Folks in the chat, if anybody does any support for the show, like a member chat, member milestone chat, gifted memberships, or super chat, super stickers, super thanks, we will celebrate. And when we do, we all celebrate together. We'll celebrate now. We'll celebrate just being here, but celebrate together with us in the chat. And what does that mean? That means custom emojis if you're a member, dance emojis or other kind of emojis. If you're not, let's celebrate. Let's see if it works. Shall we? That would be something to celebrate if StreamYard working. Yay! Yay! Thanks, Kit Kat and Dan's Life of the Kingdom and Streams of Bucks for celebrating with us. We're going to get to our breaking news and the main story of the night. And just to let you know, this would be another one of those stories where you can
Lowered expectations.
Zootopia, better Zoogether. It's coming. It's coming this Friday, officially this Friday. It's already there. But Zootopia Better Zoogether is a new 3D/4D movie experience at Disney's Animal Kingdom. This is our review. Disney's new 3D show misses the magic mark. Yes, it's not quite what I wished that it was, mostly because I didn't understand it. It was really all over the place. This is my review. I saw it today. Dan's Life at the Kingdom knows because we talked about it afterwards. And this is the sign. When you walk in, this is the sign that has replaced the former attraction sign. And the former attraction was, "It's tough to be a bug." Jeremy, did you ever go to Disney's Animal Kingdom when?
No, I did not. I wish I had, but
Okay.
it sounded amazing.
So, Animal Kingdom it's still one of my favorite, like top tier park to me at Disney. Best theme park as far as themed parks. It is the best themed park I have ever been to. And I have a hard time trying to explain that to people that think theme parks are amusement parks and they're all about rides. No, as far as actual theming, Animal Kingdom is themed the best, and it's all because of Joe Rohde. However, this particular attraction now breaks the incredible theming that was such a huge part of the iconic Tree of Life before. So Zootopia Better Zoogether has replaced It's Tough to Be a Bug, which was based on A Bug's Life, the Pixar film from the 90s. And it actually opened, I think, slightly before the Pixar film initially came out. I think the film came out in 99, but it came out like after the opening of the park. And A Bug's Life was part of the opening of the park. So It's Tough to Be a Bug. Basically, that was a story that featured the characters from A Bug's Life explaining to humans why their life as a bug is so challenging and why it's tough to be a bug. And it was cool. 1998. So, it's what made sense about It's Tough to Be a Bug is that this all takes place in a theater under the Tree of Life that they called the Tree of Life Theater. But the idea was that the bugs had their own community. They're the ones that built the theater under the tree, and they were putting on the show because it's under a giant tree. Theming for something that should be under a tree when it's bugs makes sense. If it was perhaps even based on any other different animals that burrow and make their nests under a tree, maybe it's squirrels, maybe it's something like that. I don't know. Any of that would make sense. Zootopia, theming wise, just doesn't make any sense for it being underneath the tree. And that's the biggest issue that I have with the whole attraction. The movie itself, wasn't anything wonderful, wasn't anything great, wasn't anything awful either. I mean, it was entertaining enough. James Alday says, yeah, 30th anniversary, they should re-release it in theaters. That would certainly make it relevant again. That's what they just did with Back to the Future, is re-release it for this 40th anniversary. So
Ron, real quick, I got a dental emergency. I'm going to blank out my screen for a second.
Go ahead. Anyhow, so let me read. While he's gone, I'll take the opportunity to read a little bit of my review. I saw Zootopia Better Together and wrote a review, so you don't have to sit through this. And yes, there will be spoilers. Zootopia Better Together opens at Disney's Animal Kingdom to the general public this Friday, November 7th, 2025. But I was able to nab a preview today, And that this is written today, so this is today. There's what the Tree of Life looks like. I love the Tree of Life. I absolutely love the Tree of Life. It is fascinating. I could spend probably a couple hours just walking around the base of the Tree of Life and looking at the area and looking at all the witnessing all the carvings and the waterfalls. And I think I love it. I think it's phenomenal. I definitely don't criticize the Tree of Life at all. The attraction underneath is there because it was built for it. Occupying the former home of It's Tough to Be a Bug in the Tree of Life Theater underneath and inside of the famous Animal Kingdom icon, Zootopia, better Zoogether, takes the audience on a wild 3D romp through several biomes in the world of Zootopia, the celebration of Zoogether Day Sabotage. The city of Zootopia is celebrating Zoogether Day, a celebration of unity among the many animals of all its diverse biomes. Guests are given special Carrot Vision 3D glasses to watch it in the Tree of Life Theater at Disney's Animal Kingdom. A word of caution, be careful not to poke your eye while putting on said 3D glasses. Yes, I did write that because that's happened to me. My left eye still hurts right now a little bit. I don't know how hard I poke myself, but this so hard plastic lenses, and I'm trying to put it on in the dark, and I literally poked my eye right with the it wasn't very fun. Heidi Howler, the wolf, hosts the event, but makes a quick and suspicious exit, turning the MC duties over to Officer Clawhauser, whom we see to the right of the stage as an animatronic. There's a photograph of Officer Clawhauser, and it's the only animatronic at the theater in the show. We first see an ice skating show from Tundra Town, the Arctic biome, that almost immediately gets interrupted by flames that melt a hole in the ice and crack through the rust, plunging the polar bear and animal skaters into freezing waters. The action goes at breakneck pace when Officer Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde arrive on the scene to investigate. The show moves from biome to biome, event to event, all sabotaged in different ways until we finally discover the not-so-surprise reveal that Bellwether the sheep, disguised as Heidi Howler, a sheep in wolf's clothing, get it? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, haha, was the culprit behind the sabotage. And then here is where I get into the issues that I had with it. 3D effects, gags, and spit in your face. One specific scene got me in the feels, and not in a good way. The scene involves a beaver conversing with a walrus and them spitting out every word. This is literal. A sprinkler effect shoots water in the face of all audience members for the 4D special effect, and it goes on for far too long. They're talking to each other, and I want to say this goes on for somewhere between 15 and 30 seconds. It felt like forever because while they're talking, you see in 3D the spit is coming out of their mouths, and you're splashed in the face by the sprinkler water effect, right? And it keeps coming at you for a while. It's not like it's one thing. Usually these effects in 4D shows are something comes at you and then goes away. This effect just keeps coming, and it lasts a while. And I don't and the problem is it lasts long enough for your brain to compute that these animals are spitting on you. And it gets gross. It feels like it starts out with this idea, oh, haha, that's funny, but really quickly goes away from that to the area of gross because it just lasts so long. And I'm sitting there going, it felt like animals were spitting on me. It was just nasty. I also have a personal experience of being spit on by a llama in real life. So maybe that just triggered something in me personally. But anyway. I wrote, while I'm sure some found this hilarious, I found it both annoying and kind of gross. Audiences were divided by similar gags in the previous theater occupant. It's Tough to Be a Bug. Other 4D elements include movement of the seat underneath guests, stimulated falling snow, bubbles, and air blown in your face. Gazelle, she was voiced by Shakira in the movie, makes a couple of brief appearances, but very little is heard of the signature song Try Everything. They actually make a joke about like the copyright of it or something, like they can't use it. I don't know. So yeah, it was I forgot about the spiders, Dan, until I just saw this comment. Dan's Life at the Kingdom said, I prefer the spiders. To getting spit on. Yeah, I forgot about that. There's this whole thing where spiders came in the Bugs Life show. And it was actually pretty cool. Pretty cool fact they came from above and they were coming down and I miss it. There's not as many elements like as a matter of fact, there's no elements from the theater where things would like actually drop from the ceiling and you see them. Yeah, MJ, definitely not educational, just a bunch of nonsense. It's Tough to Be a Bug was very entertaining, and it also kind of gave you a sense of an education while you like learn about certain things that bugs had to do like to get through their life. So it was kind of fun in that sense, but yeah. Yeah, James All Day says that they should that they released Toy Story in the theaters because it's the 30th anniversary. They should do the same thing for Bug's Life. I agree. I think it was one of their flagship films in the beginning, like right after Toy Story. So
My wife and I saw it in the theater while we were still dating.
I love the fact that it came out opposite Ants.
Ants looked so bad, or was it Ant Z?
It was. I think it might have been Ant with the Z at the end, and I think wasn't it Sylvester Stallone was one of the ants
Woody
or something?
Allen. It was weird.
No, I don't know.
Because Z was Woody Allen's name. Z. It was a weird dystopian mess.
Yeah, James says once again Disney puts politics over entertainment. There was nothing really political though in this. It was almost worse than that. It was kind of about nothing. Like the whole, the only politics was the unity of everybody together. But I don't really have an issue with that. I mean, I think that's E pluribus unum says that we're from many we're supposed to become one, and really that's what unity is about. Most people kind of miss the mark on that. That we're not actually when we celebrate diversity, we really shouldn't be. It's not the idea is that we're not supposed to be celebrating how different we all are, but that's what diversity's become. It's supposed to be that we all come from all these wonderfully different backgrounds and cultures, which we can individually appreciate. But in America, we come together to become one American unit. And we all have certain American ideals, no matter where we come from. And unfortunately, that's no longer the case. So we don't have that E pluribus unum anymore. Anyway, the overall here, I think there's a line that I said at the end, like for those who I think should probably actually skip this. Now, this is interesting. The comments I heard, this was a cast member preview. I was a guest of a cast member. The comments that I heard varied from meh to it's cute, but not much beyond that. Not one single wow. No one around me seemed overly excited. And that was the big deal. The fact that nobody was like, wow, that was amazing. Wow, this is the coolest thing. Oh my gosh, I'm glad Disney did something new. Oh, like that's what you should hear. Like, I will say this, there's a lot of wows when Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind first opened. Even though a lot of people disagree with the theming of that, I think that they did a good job trying to at least fit that into the theme of Epcot, where they put Star-Lord in the story and the fact that he was a little kid, went to Epcot and got excited about it, and then wanted this ride to be there. Like it kind of makes sense to me, but this makes no sense whatsoever, and there's no wow factor in it. The show moves too fast. You don't understand what's going on. They move from biome to biome very, very quickly. And I'm like, wait, what's happening in this scene? What's happening in this scene? It's 15 minutes. It's not very long, but it's not something that I want to go back and re-see again to understand the story. But yet it begs you to do that because you can't really understand the story in one sitting. So it's have a lot of issues with that. And let me get down here to, okay, so this is important. The show will likely divide audiences, just as It's Tough to Be a Bug did before, but without the better thematic elements. If your little one, and this is important if you're watching, especially if you're watching this on the replay or whatever you see this review, and you're going to the animal kingdom, if your little one is sensitive to strobe effects like strobe lighting, water splashed in their face, creepy movement under the seats, loud sounds, or any sensory effects, I'd recommend skipping this one. I know that there are a lot of children today that have issues with loud noises, that have issues with sensitivity, skin sensitivity, and such. Be real aware that this 4D show encompasses all of those things, and it might be too much for some to handle. Even It's Tough to Be a Bug was too much for some kids to handle. The kids had issues with that too, and those effects that were in that show are made worse in this show because some of them are there when they don't even make sense. But there are places where they're like supposed to be shooting out shirts, like T-shirts, into the audience. They don't, but when they do that, there's like this pop of air that comes in your face. That's a little much. It's some of those effects are going to be a lot. And then I point out at the end of the review that not necessarily a downgrade show, but certainly not an upgrade either. It comes across as change for change's sake, with nothing particularly creative or innovative added into the mix. So I just want to get your take, Jeremy. Just you haven't seen the show like I have, but as far as the review is concerned, what is your take on the whole thing?
So it's painful because when I think of classic Disney silliness, I don't think of spitting in your face. I think of spiders from the ceiling is even a little intense, but this feels like they hired the engineer who just graduated, and it's someone from the TikTok generation, and they want to prank everyone in the audience. And James L. Day made a really good point about kids with epilepsy. I mentioned kids on the spectrum. What you're talking about, there's so many kids that identify as on the spectrum, they can't even make eye contact, or they struggle with that. And touching their face is a big no-no. Loud noises. They now train park attendants to help someone who deals with spectrum issues to help them get out of a panic attack, because it happens on rides. They have to shut rides down, things like that. This seems like a nightmare for sensory overload, and especially with, I don't know how it happened, but it just seems like there's so many kids dealing with spectrum issues that if you spit in their face and blow air in their face, that they could freak out.
Yeah. Exactly. And I would just say, if you're a parent and you're taking a small child to this, be very, very careful and very, very aware of what your child can and cannot handle. Simply because it's not going to be a necessary part of your day. If you're going to the animal kingdom, there are other better, more fun things to see. This is the footage inside the show a little bit. And you can see this is from my preview today. Tree of Life Theater, it's back open again. That's a good thing. It's not good for this theater to be closed at all, but I want to say that It's Tough to Be a Bug. I think it lasted for 24 years. It was there with the opening of the park, and it ran all the way until this year, maybe longer. What was it, 25, 26 years? Anyway, it ran that entire time, other than the closures and of course it would go down for refurb from time to time, and maintenance, but it was there for a very, very long time. Now, I would not say that It's Tough to Be a Bug is the classic attraction that Rivers of America was. It's not like that. It's not something that will ever be missed because it was such a part of Disney. It was just all I would say is that it was better and more appropriately themed for this area, especially being inside of the Tree of Life. So 27 years. Thank you, James. Wow, 27 years. That's a long run. And yeah, it was better themed for the Tree of Life. It fit the area, it fit the theming. And if they were going to replace it, I understand they want to try and figure out where to fit Zootopia in as it's a more popular IP right now. But I just don't think that this was the right place to put anything Zootopia related. And it would have been a better idea to do. I don't know. I wish they could have figured out something better to do. I don't think this will run for 27 years. Is kind of my point. I think that this is going to die out. I don't. Dan's Life of the Kingdom and I were talking about this, and we both think that after, like, it will have that initial, oh, it's new, so I got to see it reception, right? But I don't think that this is going to be the product that people will line up for the way Disney wants them to, because it's tough to be a bug. Well, that was based on an older IP, so a lot of times you would have no wait time for this attraction. And you'd go in, you'd have only the wait time of the actual show, and kind of like with the Muppets. But Muppets was even far more popular than this attraction was because of the thematic elements that were also in It's Tough to Be a Bug that also put people up. But replacing it with Zootopia is no better. That's the biggest issue here that I have, is that it is in fact change for change's sake, and it doesn't improve the experience. There's nothing. It's not really a downgrade to the experience, but it's not an improvement on the experience ever either. And the story makes no sense. It's Tough to Be a Bug was much slower, not in a bad way, but in a way where you could actually understand the storyline. This thing moves fast. But anyway, Dan and I were talking. We think that like maybe a year from now, this thing is going to have, again, going back to 5 and 10 minute wait times. Definitely won't need to use a lightning lane on it, even though there's one available for it. Yeah, Zoogether will not last 27 years. They need to bring what they have at Shanghai over to Animal Kingdom and move this attraction to that land. That I don't think that. See, the problem is you have to have a 4D experience in this theater. It can't be anything else because it's built inside the Tree of Life. There's not really another attraction you could put and replace this with inside the Tree of Life, other than a different 3D movie. However, I just don't see that happening anytime soon. I hope they are able to find something better. Any final thoughts, Jeremy?
Yeah, it looks like a Howard Johnson sign.
Well, the sign makers at Disney, they're not as creative as they once were. Well, nobody at Disney is.
Literally looked like a Hojo. That kind of threw me when I saw it, but it's kind of a bummer because I could see getting really excited about Bug's Life back in the day. Even the kid in me thinks this sucks, and that kid is stupid. So it's like, oh gosh, I don't understand why they keep removing things that had a wow factor and replacing them with something that doesn't. The dino themed restaurant you talked about, where it was like being in an archaeologist. Yeah, that looked amazing. They're taking.
I've taken a lot of pictures of that. I've taken a lot of pictures of that lately because it is so well themed, and it won't go anywhere else. Unfortunately, the restaurant itself, the facade, should end up being used for a Central to South American menu style restaurant. Maybe we'll see, arepas or cachapas or whatever other Venezuelan or Colombian food fare there.
Some plantains.
Certainly plantains, yeah. Plantanos. But
I love plantains.
I don't know. Well, because James all day, they decided to go with the tropical Americas instead. Whoops, there it is. Yeah. Yeah, it's a wish away, but that's only going on the Disney Wish and the Disney Destiny, all that. Anyway, yeah, so that's what they're doing. That it opens up Friday. you know that they're going to mess up the Colombian dishes, Dan. I don't think they're going to get I mean, I get to experience that at home every day, so I'm not really worried about it. And I get arepas whenever I want.
Nice. Poco de gallo.
Pico de gallo it's more of a Mexican thing, but
I saw it on the menu.
Yeah. Anyhow, we're going to cut this one short tonight. The pro show will be happening at 10 p.m. and this will redirect to the pro show for those watching. However, we're cutting this short a little bit early, so there's a bit of a break between now and the pro show. So thank you very much all for being in the audience. Jeremy, what would you like to talk to the people about?
Yeah, so today I did my live stream. It's every Monday at 12:30 Eastern on Strings and Pucks. I did an hour and a half of acoustic guitar and singing. You can see the replay on my channel under live. Basically, I call it my acoustic coffee shop. It's literally like when you go, to a cafe and someone's jamming and singing. I did some covers, some original tunes, and tomorrow morning at 10:30, I have a cover of "Stand By Me." I'm releasing just vocals and electric guitar. So if you can stop by and watch that, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Go to Strings and Pucks, the YouTube channel for that. And oops, I don't want to do that. Sorry, I'm pressing the wrong buttons over here. And we are doing the dish again this Wednesday night at 8 p.m. So tune in for that. And I am going to work my best at putting a lot more output this month. For those that want to enjoy the Christmas season, we do have a big Christmas, like a 3.5 hour long video that you can just put up and throw it on in the background for Christmas music, Christmas ambiance. It's got great Christmas songs. It's got my photos from the Magic Kingdom when the Magic Kingdom was still magic. Almost all the photos are from like 10 years ago with the dream lights on the castle and everything. So hopefully you guys will enjoy all of that as well. And check out all those things on Follow the Bradley's Fun. Any other final thoughts, Jeremy, before we take off here?
No, throw on a celebration. Do a quickie.
One more quickie celebration. Let's do our good friend Culture Bear. Yay! Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Thank you, Jeremy, for being here despite your pain. We appreciate it. And until next time, have a great night, everybody, and we will see you real soon. Go over to the pro show in about half an hour, and we'll see you over there. I don't know if I'm on it tonight or not. I don't know. But if not, I am going to go to bed early and get some sleep because I could use it. It's been a long day today. See you guys later. Have a great night. See you real soon. Bye, everybody. Ciao.
Dishes are done, man. Cleans them down to the shop.